naughty boys this week. We're reviewing Foul Play by Devolver Digital, who's made several other games that I can't remember for the life of me because they're all very, very, very forgettable. This is developed on a custom engine coded in C++. You can pick this up for $14.99, and it is play as Damon Hunter, Baron Dashforth, in a side-scrolling co-op brawler set entirely on the grand spectacle of a theater stage that rewards performance over pummeling. Now, of course, while these guys are locked in their chairs watching the show go on, we have our chairs that we're going to throw at them as the stage play goes on. We call those our review chairs. 1 chair means that it's shit, 2 chairs means that it's meh, 3 chairs means that it's pretty damn good, and 4 chairs means Pedro was going to go on like a 15-minute tirade about how awesome it is, and we're all going to want to kill ourselves after that. So, we also have our categories: Oh Doom, Makes with the Working, Shiny and Sounds, Controls and Fun. All those are self-explanatory. If you don't know what they mean, go back and watch some other reviews and reevaluate your life. So, then, Foul Play, gentlemanly beat 'em up. Did it make with the working?
It made with the working like you would not imagine. No issues with it whatsoever. Especially, coming from a custom engine. And you'll hear later about these ladies crying, "I can't work on my shit." Well, on our triple screen of awesomeness, it ran without issue because I use separate X screens like a real man.
Oh, you're a real man, right? Green screen.
Real man who can't drag windows from one monitor to another one.
Because I can get that much shit done in one window. But this was tested on our minimum system requirement, Ubuntu 12.04 LTS, even though I'm looking forward to 14.04, which is it doesn't work with Steam. So, 770 powered on the latest NVIDIA drivers. I'm going to give this business the 4 chairs. Cry, baby, cry.
Actually. So, I ran into a small issue, as did Pedro. If you're using, I guess, on my system, it'd be NVIDIA TwinView. On Pedro's, it would be some other nonsense. But
Moon Option 6.
This game likes to... Oh, actually, no, because he's on Mesa, so it's just an extended X display. But anyways, this game likes to shut down your secondary monitors while you're playing this game. And it's 2014, guys. You shouldn't have to do this. Come on. Just come on. So I tested this on my NVIDIA 670 powered AMD 1090T Fedora 20 64-bit box down here, and on my A10 5800K APU Fedora 20 base system, and they both work fairly fine. It's just that one dual monitor issue that's going to make me ding that a chair. So 3 chairs.
Yeah. It's pretty much what Jordan said for me too. I'm using the open source drivers on a 5650 HD Mobility Radeon. On the 10-year-old desktop PC, I do have an NVIDIA 7600 GS. And since that particular PC only has one monitor, it ran out of the box on that one. But on the calculator, it set my monitors to clone each other, and even after I put it in windowed mode, it refused to reset back to extended desktop. So, yeah, 3 chairs.
Fun stuff. So that's 3 chairs for Makes with the Working. Coming up next is the infamous Shiny and Sounds category. Vend this tickle your eyes and or ear pussies.
Well, let's take a quick look at this. When I first started this game up, I was thinking in my brain organ, I was like, is this a Double Fine production? Because they are fuck all sucking that dick with the art style. It really reminded me of what was the little Russian hat?
Stacking.
Stacking. Brilliant name on
yeah.
that. But then again, I love Double Fine's art style, which does mean I love the way this game genuinely looked. Didn't have any issues with it. The sounds, yeah, that's where the Nope train starts pulling into the station on this. I'm not constipated. I'm giving you the soundtrack for this business. and there's some noise in the background, but I'm not really focused on that. Found it a bit repetitive. So, even with that blazing art style that I really, really genuinely love, I can't say anything wrong about it. The whole theatrical, the way it was presented, hit every, thing in my groin organ. Those grunts, got a ding at a chair. So I'm going to give it 3, which is not bad. J-Man.
Yeah, so I like Ben said, I didn't really care for the music, so instead I was serenaded by the dulcet tones of Mr. Chuck Schuldner. I threw a link in the show notes if you want to check out what one of the songs I was listening to while playing this game. I do like the play gimmick, though. The presentation of this game is very, very unique. I like the whole move on to the next screen thing, and the some of the idiotic stagehands got a chuckle out of me every once in a while as they're trying to clear off the stage and whatnot. I like the cane that pulls people off. While the art style does fit the game, it does come off as a little cheap. I don't know. They could have done a little more. They could have had a little more effort with the models, and of course with the sounds. The cacophonous. Good God, y'all!
What chat?
What is it good for? About 2 chairs.
Oh,
Yeah. So, mostly to reiterate what you guys just said, the art style I could dig. The whole stage, life is a stage metaphor brought into the literal side of things. It's a clever sort of way to present the game, and I could definitely get behind that. And again, the art is dead on for what the game is. The repetitious music, the half-second of voice acting when characters start to deliver their lines, and the exact same grunts coming out constantly from the enemies and your character. Oh my god! Really? 2 chairs.
All right, so that's 2 chairs for Shiny and Sounds. Now, this is going to be a quick one because, Ben, did you feel like you were in control?
Yeah, it was very much in control. Honestly, it worked out of the box with the excluding controller. Didn't try it with the keyboard or wireless gerbil. No issues with any of that. All the button mashing worked like I would expect. And when I mean button mashing, that's kind of how you play a game such as this. You mash buttons, and buttons were mashed, and they responded like mashed buttons should. 4 chairs. Check that business.
Yeah, pretty much. This game does essentially devolve into a button mash fest until you realize the best strategy is just to play defensive and counter everyone, because then you get an area attack. But the controls are tight. I didn't have an issue with them. Worked out of the box with my Hori Xbox controller and my plain old regular Xbox controller. So that's all good. That's 4 chairs for control.
In Moon Controller Land.
In Moon Controller Land, with my PS2 DualShock here, it notified and made a point out of giving me a choice to properly configure my controller the very first time I started the game. And that was kind of awesome. But then I went into the controller customization options that they offered to take me to, and I realized that it was properly recognized. I didn't have to change a goddamn thing. 4 chairs.
Yay. So that's 4 chairs with the controls. And finally, our subjective category. Then, did you have fun playing this game?
Woo! For the first 20 minutes, I was all woo about this business. Because every now and then, like I said, we did swap games because I was like, fuck all if I'm playing another turn-based strategy game. And this was button-mashing nonsense, Mayhem Simulator 2014. But when I said the first 20 minutes, I do mean the first 20 minutes. Because then you're like, yeah, that's neat. Same enemies. Keep coming at you, keep coming at you. You unlock all your moves, and it's like, this is my full tool set. And you master all your things, and you just get to the point where it's like, all right, I need to get because here's the mechanic. Instead of really a health bar, you have the applausometertron. And if the audience doesn't like, how well you're curb stomping all the things and throwing your Hell Hitlers and all that business and invading foreign countries is because this is set in the old time days.
Hail Satan!
Notice how there's no black people in the audience.
Of course. Yeah, it was a gimmick, but it was kind of neat. I think J-Man's going to bring up, like one of your turbo, like accidental moves to improve everything that I completely forgot about, because after a while you realize you genuinely just have to like run and hide from enemies in order for that thing to go all the way down. But after about 20 minutes of this, I got through a few acts. It's like, this is hell repetitive. It's kind of boring. Let's go online and play with other people. Giggity. And that really doesn't add anything to it other than a separate layer of frustration. Maybe we could have pulled this off, on Skype and all that and playing it. But still, it would be more of the same, except you would get to share your frustration with everyone else. Not saying it's not fun. I'm just saying this is not something that if you're into, like, brawl and mash 'em ups, is going to be continuously satisfying down the road. So for fun, I'm going to give this a 2 chair, because that's what I think it deserves. Oh, good sir.
Whoa, Quads. How dare you? Oh, I should have actually got my monocle and top hat. God damn it. Damn you, hindsight. But this game is pretty brutally repetitive. It's the same 3 or 4 enemies each and every time, and there's very little variety. And again, once you figure out the best strategy is just to go full defensive and do nothing but counter, or just work on denials, it becomes very, 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 very simple. Some of the challenges make it a bit interesting. I got a bit pissed off. There was one where you had to beat like 100 enemies in less than a minute, and I was off by 1 second, and I had 1 enemy left, and I was just like, God damn. That was really the only emotion this game evoked out of me.
Angry get shit done.
But yeah, no, I do like the mechanics. I do like the whole audience applause meter. They do have this one thing where you can enter bullet time and just start draining your health, but everyone moves slower and you have more time to counter and beat people up and whatnot. But you tend to forget that it's even there. Actually, I tend to forget that all the functionality for the shoulder buttons are there because they give you a nice little dodge thing, but I just never used it because blocking works perfectly fine. This game, I don't know. I played it for like an hour, and basically after every act, I felt I needed to take a break because it's just too much. It's the same crap again and again and again. And their idea of increasing difficulty is just adding more enemies. They don't get any smarter or anything like that. I have not get a chance to try this out with multiplayer, though. I tried to get some people from Shat Realm to play with me, but to no avail. Those assholes. So, in closure, I will give this 2 chairs for fun. It's good for about half an hour, and then you just kind of want to put it down and do something else with your time.
Okay. It is a fun brawler if you find like a video or a podcast, hint, hint, to play in the background in such a way as you don't have to listen to the grunting and the same 5-second background music loop. Because this game... Okay, again, I like the stage metaphor, and I like the art style, but the sounds, they kill it. And like Jordan said, you're constantly, for each and every act, you get 2 different types of enemies, or 3, perhaps even a boss. And the boss doesn't require any particular skill. It's just a regular enemy with a higher HP bar. So
And a harder to block attack.
Yeah. And it doesn't help, an indie game to be this boring. You could have made the acts, let's say, 5 minutes shorter. It would have made it so much better. I got bored after the first act. I made it through the following 3, and by the time I finished Act 4, I was done. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't. 2 chairs.
So that's 2 chairs for the fun category, and if we total all this nonsense up, we have a final score of 2 chairs. Vin, show him the chair explanation again. it's not sure if want. I mean, really, it boils down to this is a mediocre game.
Well, I think you have a different take on it because you paid what it cost on the tin.
Yes. It was available on the Humble Weekly Bundle, which I neglected to notice, so I paid full price for this game. Which is $15. This is not worth $15.
I paid $6 for this, and I was like, yeah, that influenced my score. Trust me, I would have knocked a few chairs if I went retail on this business. And again, I'm not saying it's a horrible game. I mean, it's just your thing. But I don't even see something like this as like, hey, bro, let's sit down and play this for like 30 minutes.
I mean, Guacamelee is a much better brawler does pretty much the same thing.
Final thoughts, Peter.
There's variance in the levels.
Yeah, and this, it's not exactly like Guacamelee. This is more of a spectacle fighter, and the stage metaphors kind of reinforces that. It's sort of like
Dust meets Double Dragon almost.
Sort of, yeah. It's got a bit of Devil May Cry in it, namely the comboing things that you a higher score at the end of the level.
None of the fuck you hard.
Yeah, and I don't know. They could have done it so much better if it wasn't so grindy. If it wasn't the exact same thing for 10 fucking minutes for each and every goddamn act.
It's like 15 minutes for every act, man. That's just...
All right, save that hate.
Ugh.